Hi everyone, it's been a while since I posted a video, so I thought today I would talk about situation questions. If you've only been quizzing for 2 years, so last year and this year, you might be wondering why I didn't have situations last year. Well, that's because situation questions require a narrative style of writing, like the Gospels and Acts, rather than a letter format, like 1st and 2nd Corinthians. A situation question is taking a direct quote from a person or an entity from a verse, and then asking questions like who said it, to whom, about whom, how, when, why, and where. Those are all the question words. Thankfully, you'll only ever be asked to answer 3 of those question words in a situation question. You'll never be asked to answer more, and you might only ever be asked to answer 1. So there you go. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a situation question and the verse that it comes from. All right, so here's our question. That's the entire question, including the question words and the quote. Those are just the question words that you have to have in your answer, that you need to answer in the answer. And here is the answer. I split it into 2 for you, so you can see that John answers who said it, and replied in the words of Isaiah the prophet answers the how. Okay, so when a quizmaster asks you a situation question, this is what you'll hear. Question number 1 is a situation question. I need to know who said it and how was it said. Who and how. Question number 1, question. So we repeat those question words to make sure that you do not forget what they are so that you can answer them properly. And you'll notice that the first time I said the question words, I said them the long way. And then the second time I said them really short. So that should be what you expect and hear from a quizmaster when they are asking these kinds of questions. Okay, now we're going to take a look at how you answer a situation question using the more and again rules, remembering that there are still 2 parts to this whole situation question, the question part that has the question words and the quote, as well as the answer, which answers those question words. First, let's imagine you jump after the quizmaster has already said the entire quote. When the quizmaster has said the entire quote, you will hear the words, quote is complete. This is so that you know that all you have to do is focus on answering the question rather than finishing the question. Now guys, I gotta interrupt here because there's something I have to say. There is nothing more frustrating for you or for the quizmaster if you jump on a situation question and then forget what the question words were. I mean, we're asking you who said it and how was it said. We repeated it right at the beginning of the question, and then you jump and you forget how to answer the question and you only finish the quote and you think you're done. So please, 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 please remember what those question words are. All right, back to our scenario. So you've jumped and the quizmaster has finished the entire quote and the quizmaster has said quote is complete. So now you are doing your best to try and remember the question words because you watched this video and you remembered me telling you how important it is to answer those question words. So you answer the first one of who said it and you reply, John said it. But you forget the second question word. You're missing the answer for how was it said. So the quizmaster prompt in that situation would be, I hope all of you said nothing because the question has already been finished. The whole quote is done. There's nothing more that can be added and you haven't made any mistakes. So the only prompt that you're going to receive if you forget a question word and to answer it is nothing. Remember, if that happens, don't panic. Just quote through the verse and do your best to figure out what information you are missing. Now let's look at what happens if you jump before the quizmaster finishes the quote. It's up to you when you want to finish the quote, before or after you've answered the question. Most people find it easier to finish the quote first and then say the answer. But first, we'll imagine you choose to give the answer first before finishing the question. This will result in the quizmaster prompt of more. So you can see here that you only heard the words, I am the voice of one. Then you jumped. You are confident. You remembered what the question words were and you say your answer here. John replied in the words of Isaiah the prophet. Perfect. Both question words have been answered. You said who said it and how. Your only problem is you didn't finish the question. You never heard the words, quote is complete. If you do not hear those words, that means you have not completed the quote. So the Quizmaster prompt then here would be more, because there is more to this question. Okay, now let's imagine you choose to finish the quote first before giving your answer. So you're finishing the question first. After you have finished the question, the Quizmaster will prompt you with quote is complete. So you jump before the Quizmaster has finished the quote, just like last time, but you answer right away, I am the voice of one calling in the wilderness, make straight the way for the Lord. That's the entire question. That's the entire quote. The Quizmaster must prompt you with quote is complete. And then you are free to give your answer. Remember that the prompt again is used if you make a mistake somewhere. So if you make a mistake while you're finishing the question, so you're finishing the quote, the Quizmaster will prompt you with again, because you made a mistake in the quote. However, they will not prompt you until the end of the quote. So if you made a mistake somewhere in the middle, they're not going to stop you right in the middle. You are allowed to fix your mistake. If you know exactly where it is, you can go back and fix it. It's the exact same rules as a finish this or finish the verse or quote question. So if what I'm saying to you is confusing and you don't understand, then you should check out the YouTube channel to find the video about finish the verses and quote questions. Same thing applies for if there is a mistake in the answer, a Quizmaster will say again. But if you choose to finish the quote first, they will keep saying again until you have finished that quote. If you want to jump from finishing the quote to giving the answer and then going back to finishing the quote, that's fine, that's up to you, but the Quizmaster will not prompt you at exactly where your mistake is. Just once the quote has been completely said properly, you will hear the words quote is complete, so that you know that your problem is no longer in the quote. I hope that makes sense to everyone. If not, you can leave your questions and comments below this video and I will do my best to reply to them as soon as I can. Or you can message me on Facebook or post your question on the Facebook page. Just let me know and I'll do my best to help you out. So coaches, officials, quizzers, I hope this video is helpful for you as you prepare for our upcoming meet, and looking forward to seeing you all then. Bye!